Well, it's been a while since I've been here. What's up, you guys? Chet-Guthrie, the Dream Poet here, coming to you all with another fun-filled summertime vlog. Or I should say summertime fun vlog. For some reason, sometimes I forget the fun part. Sometimes it doesn't feel fun. But anyway, you guys, we are down here at the St. Augustine Alligator Farm in Zoological Park today. And to be honest, I filmed this place back in 2019. But it was under a name called Today's Adventure. It was a small sub-series that was a part of my vlogging channel back when I did 365 days a year straight here in the state of Florida. That was a long time ago. But anyway, you guys, it's been a while. I haven't really done a vlog on this place. Vlog? Yes, a vlog. I have not done a vlog on this place in a while. And anyway, I figured today would be the best time to do it. So anyway, you guys, let's check this place out. It's really awesome. It's one of my favorite places. Let's do it. Now, one of the cool things about the St. Augustine Alligator Farm is right at the entrance they have these small enclosures with these smaller alligators.
Which way is it from where we're at right now?
In fact, looks like these are new hatchlings. They're only like maybe about a year or two old. I think within their first few years of life they grow about 3 feet. Then after a certain time period they just grow an inch a year. But these guys are just kind of chilling and hanging out. And here in the enclosure, right next to it, we have a toucan. Oh, there he is. He's like, hey, what are y'all doing? Y'all got food? I bet y'all got food. Or maybe he's just being a bird. Yes. Yeah, he's just being a bird. And this wasn't here the last time I was here, but they have a photo op with a crocodile. Now, one of the things that you can tell in a difference between an alligator and a crocodile is crocodiles' snouts are more triangular shaped, like more thinner, or more. It's mostly like, if you look like right here, and plus you can see the teeth more as compared to an American alligator or another type of alligator. But anyway, I just thought I'd share that with you guys, just in case if y'all didn't know. And oh my god, look at the size of those turtles. I think these are practically the same turtles that we saw at Zoo Knoxville. They're really big. In fact, you know what? Wouldn't it be so cool if you could like find their shell, like a dead one's shell, out in the wild, take the shell, clean it up. That would make a very beautiful piece of taxidermy. And I'm saying only collect. Well, I don't know. I'm not saying hunt one. I'm saying like if you find a shell in the wild, because turtles are pretty amazing. And this is one of my favorite species, or one of my favorite specimens, but that is an albino alligator. And he is just sunning himself, taking, I guess, just kind of relaxing. And by the way, there is a good reason why he has a shed over him. You see, albino alligators, they will burn. They are prone to being sunburned. That's why there is a sun covering them, or not a sun, an awning covering them. It looks like he's just like, well, yeah, I guess he thinks that nobody can see him now. In fact, I think there's another one right here, an albino gator as well. Another one. Although he looks like he's just enjoying himself as well. Looks like they're just trying to get out from the heat. But if I were an alligator, that's what I'd be doing. I love alligators. They are true blue living dinosaurs, and that is what makes them so awesome. But now I guess I'm not sure where we're gonna head to. I mean, there's just so much to see here. So I guess, really, we'll just go with the flow, so to speak. Yeah. And I don't know what it is, but I smell salt water. Like really, really thick salt water. But it could be because we are not that far from the ocean. That could be the reason why. Here's one of the feeding areas for the alligators. Looks like some of them are just playing around in the water, while some are like, you know what, it's just not worth it today. And right across that one from that enclosure, you have the bigger alligators. And I know, I'm not sure if it's on the hour, but they do feedings. It's pretty cool to watch some of these alligators jump from the water to get food. Much like this big guy right here. He is, you know what, he's my spirit animal. And I don't know, I know there's some kind of crocodile, but I don't know what kind of crocodile they are. But for the most part, they are also just enjoying the sun. It's pretty hot out here this morning. And dude, look how big some of these guys are. That's gotta at least be a 13-foot gator. And we got his cousin and his nephew and his brother. And then we got this guy right here. I don't know who he would be in relation to the family. You know, there's an interesting story with this theater right here. When I was a kid, I got called up out of the crowd and I got to pet a snake. Although, I later found out I was not supposed to pet the snake on the head. And that's where I messed up. And by the way, nothing happened, so that was a good thing. But I see why some of the guy or the people doing the presentation were kinda scared. But this right here is a sutta. A spectacular crocodile was hand carved in the Pacific island of Timor from a single rain tree. Also known as a tropical oak or sewer, this Asian hardwood characterized by crisscrossed and interlocking grain resist cracking. So this big thing right here, it will never crack. Unlike me, who has probably cracked a few times already. By the way, it's a beautiful piece of art if y'all can't tell. Very beautiful. And that is about one of the biggest photo ops I've seen thus far. Yes, that is a pretty big head. I guess that's about as big as the one that we saw that was in the bigger area. Wouldn't you like to find like one of these skulls like out in the wild? I think about that. Like a skull like that in the wild would probably easily weigh about 20 pounds. You could grab him, ride it, be a regular Tarzan, or maybe be just like me and probably suffer a fate worse than death. And this is something that's new. They have a gem mine. I don't know how much they charge, but oh wait, here it is. Gives you an idea on how much you all can get per bag. Apparently in the Bonanza bucket for 60 bucks, you can get a lot of good stuff. Or with the other one, looks like you can get some shark teeth, amethyst. You know what? I kind of like shark's teeth, so if I did buy a buck or a bag, I would probably go with the $12 one. Or maybe the $30 one. $30 one seems pretty nice. I just love the sound of water. If y'all have not figured out on this channel. Maybe somebody has perhaps forgotten something. Maybe. I don't know if somebody has been messing with this one. Well, yeah, I guess that one was a bag that they were done with. Now let's go check out the Great Down Under. I'm pretty sure I know what this is. I believe, anyway, at this point in my life, I don't know what a lot of things are, just because what I was taught in school was later proven to be different. But the Great Down Under should be Australian. Okay, yeah, I know where I'm at now. You have the Komodo dragon exhibit right here, and the next exhibit is the largest alligator that they have in the park, which is Maximo, and just beyond Maximo is the largest alligator ever, one of the largest alligators ever put on display, and his name was Gomek. And Gomek, his taxidermied structure, his body, is breathtaking. But in the meantime, let's check out the Komodo dragon, a close cousin to the Megalania. Zoo Knoxville, they had a taxidermy, well, not taxidermy, an animatronic of one, but the Komodo dragon is the cousin of the Megalania, and also the biggest, well, the biggest lizard like ever on Earth right now. I think they're also a protected species. He's like, what are you doing? I mean, he's a big guy. In fact, I'd probably say he's about 6 feet long. No, or maybe 5 feet. I think I caught him off guard because he looks like he's wondering what I'm doing. Looks like he's kind of being a dog. He's digging a hole. And in this one, looks like they've got a Prevost squirrel. I don't really know what a Prevost squirrel is. Maybe it is the average squirrel in Australia, or maybe it's a beautiful, or maybe it's just a species in itself. Well, actually, maybe it'll talk status and conservation. This species is heavily hunted in some region for the pet trade due to habitat conservation. Its lowland habitat has become small, but the Prevost squirrel is tolerant of secondary forests and fruit orchards. So I guess he is kind of like a he's just an overhunted squirrel. Looks like they apparently, sounds like they make pretty decent pets, but I don't know that. You know, wild animal is a wild animal, but I don't see him. Maybe he's just trying to get out from the heat. And if it were a snake, it would have bitten me. Because in this display right here, you probably wouldn't be able to tell that there's a python in here. In fact, it almost looks like it was some kind of security house maybe, or some kind of storage house. You got a glass over right there. And of course we've got a reticulated python right there. Looks like he's just again, he's just relaxing himself, or just a snake being a snake. So now let's go inside the actual building. They do have some pretty cool monitor lizards in here, and a gharial, like a baby gharial. I like the artwork. Lets you know that you're about to see something awesome. And speaking of Megalania, they have a head of it right here. A pretty well articulated head. Probably made out of some type of polyresin, maybe. He's got the stuff coming out of his mouth just like his cousin. Yeah, way back when, you would not want to see one of these things. And that's cool. Now I know what a Komodo dragon skull looks like. That would be pretty cool to own one, but I imagine they're very brittle. Looks like that's a Megalania tooth. Looks like we've got a pretty interesting lizard right there with its wings and whatnot. Like we've got another taxidermy box, a shadow box. That's cool. They have a certificate of appreciation. And also, I think that is a picture of Gomek right there. And speaking of lizards, here is the first one on display in this building. He looks like he's just sunning himself. He's not really doing a whole lot. He does have a big enclosure though. Let's see what else they have here. I really like the architecture that they chose to go with this. I mean, it's a pretty cool building. A giant gecko. Oh, look. There he is right there. He is a big, big little lizard. Yeah, I guess he would be a big little lizard. He's just hanging on the wall, trying to escape all the loud noises. He's like, woo! And I'm not sure if you all can see him, but in this case, there's a king cobra. He's kind of hiding in that back corner right there. Again, I really like the architecture that they went with in this. This is pretty awesome. And this artwork is beautiful, especially from places like New Guinea, Africa, West Africa. Speaking of going out into the jungle, you have a fake skull. This one is a emerald tree skink, but I don't see no emerald. Oh, there he is. Emerald tree skink, and he's just kind of right there. And right across from that, we have a white-lipped python and a reticulated python, but I don't see no snake. Maybe he's in the tree somewhere. Maybe. Let's see if we can't find him. Well, maybe he's just in a corner. Aw, dude. I like this case. They have bones. Really cool bones.
Yes, I know these.
Like, check this out. Look at that king cobra. Look how the snake's jaws just like split apart in order to take in an animal. This skeleton right here, that is a reticulated python. And maybe that is some kind of anaconda skull. Look at those teeth. Maybe it's a... No, if it were an eel skull, it would it'd have a second row of teeth. But up there, they've got a crocodile skull, some kind of bird skull, and an alligator skull. Again, notice the difference. The alligator is on the left, the crocodile is on the right. Look how their snouts differ. That's the big difference that you can tell between the alligators. And that is a really, really big Komodo dragon skull. Look how thin it is. You know what? That's obviously that it is a surviving dinosaur. Its bones are hollow. And it can do some damage if given the chance. So I'm guessing they have moved out the gharials, because they used to have gharial alligators in here, or gharial hatchlings, but I have not seen any, so I take it that they've probably been moved. But this right here is a red-tailed green rat snake. He's like, hey buddy, what you doing? What you doing? And there's the rest of his body, just seemingly laying on a tree. I wonder where they took the gharials then. Because back in 2019, there used to be like a couple of gharial hatchlings that used to be there. But now that we've seen this area, let's check out Maximo, the biggest alligator that they have here at the park, and he is also a special mention for some of the largest alligators in captivity. He's like almost 16 feet long. He's pretty big. Yes, indeed, Maximo is a living fossil. And also, this used to be Gomek's enclosure. But, of course, Maximo, I think he died, or Gomek passed away back sometime in the 90s. I think it was like 1997. But he's got a really beautiful enclosure. And he still has some big shoes to fill. And I think that they still do feedings for Maximo like pretty regularly. There he is right there. He's like, I'm too hot. Although if I were an alligator, I'd probably feel the same way. And by the way, you can also see him in the water. It's a really cool enclosure, and they also have a lot of cool things in this exhibit. Let me show you guys. because this is one of my all-time favorite exhibits, like especially like at any zoo. Although you can see a big old tail and a big old body, and we saw him outside, so he's right there. I don't think he's wanting to move. I think he's just sunning himself, but that right there is a nearly 16-foot gator.
From Kansas
And what do you
City,
know? Maximo,
and then from
Maximo is
Sydney to Los
moving.
Angeles. He cleared customs
He's like,
in LA
no,
and was
I
transferred
hate
to a
the
cargo
height.
carrier for a flight to Orlando.
Oh, and he's a
On
big old
October
son of a
24th,
gun.
Maximo and Sydney arrived home.
God, he's a
at the
big
St.
alligator.
Augustine Alligator Farm. So
Oh, look, and he's coming over here.
We at first were very
Oh,
concerned
dude.
when he came over.
Well,
He
no,
made a
he's
10,000-mile trip
scratching
in the
himself.
airplane, and we thought he would
Kind of reminds me of that movie.
overcome that disruption in his.
Oh, what's that
routine
movie?
more quickly
Lake
than-
Placid. You know that 90s film where a big giant alligator, you know, eats a, like, people have to go after, like an alligator that should not normally be where
Wouldn't eat. He was just very.
where he's supposed to be at.
depressed.
So that's all we
Anyway,
worried about
it was
at
an
first.
interesting movie, kind of like Jaws.
You know, trying to
Well,
get pictures.
I thought he was going to submerge himself, but looks like he just had an itch. But along with Maximo, they have a really amazing display. If y'all are curious what gharials are, they are very similar to alligators and crocodiles, but their nostrils or their snout is way more different. In fact, they're probably more closely related to super croc, just because of how their mouth or their noses are shaped. Under there looks like, well, I thought that it would be a taxidermy gharial, but I guess not. Gharials, I think, are threatened or even endangered, I think. They've got a fossil right there. On top of that, we have some more what used to look like, or what dinosaurs used to be. Like, or I guess how the whole evolution of things went. Dinosaurs with feathers, similar to a dinosaur, and well, present day chicken. And we've got some more fossils right here. I mean, alligators are truly living fossils, and it is amazing to see them go this, far back into the fossil record. And look, they've got some Johnston crocodiles.
Season for us.
He's pretty cool looking.
Bred that next spring, and she laid immediately
It's like that little guy right there is having himself time.
Born in 1971, hatched.
And over here, there are more fossils. Super croc and an iguanodon going at each other. The super croc was big. Like, in fact, there's one of its skulls. Big animal from a bygone era. By the way, that is a very huge, no, that's a fossilized little turtle. Well, not little, but a big turtle. Dude, that is a beautiful fossil. And Maximo's finally moving a little bit more. He's just sunning himself. And just, it's like he's gliding through the water, unchallenged. At least he probably thinks that he's unchallenged. But getting back to the displays, look at this dwarf caiman. Underneath that, they've got some more fossils of alligators and osteoderms, the things that go on their backs. There's a complete one right there. But that is amazing. Look at that fossil. Now, I don't know if that's a fake fossil or a real fossil. I'd like to say that it's real. And not a display. Of course, we've got, again, North American alligator and the crocodile. Huh. And that is a boar crocodile. But they even have some dinosaur eggs. And some fossilized crocodile eggs. Look at the size of those skulls. Those have probably come from alligators in the past here at the park. Maximo never ceases to amaze. He is one big alligator. But let's check out his the one who came before. the one at the time who was the largest alligator in all of captivity, the entire world. And he lived to be a really old age. Like, I think Gomek lived to be about 80 something years old, like well beyond the age of a North American alligator. So he was old when he passed, and he was old back then when they found him. Gomek, the one and the only. Let's check it out. Gomek forever. Length 17 feet, 9.5 inches long. Weighed almost 2,000 pounds. I give you Gomek. And wouldn't of you like to have been the taxidermist that was tasked with this job? Like, that is a 17-foot alligator that you would have to cut open, put like the prosthetics in to get him looking that way. I mean, that must have been a challenge. But from head to tail, he was a beast. Like, he was huge. Look at the size of that mouth. It's a big skull. Gotta think, he came from New Guinea. Anyway, I wonder what it would have been like to get him out of where he was at in the jungle, and like getting him on the boat. That must have been a very, very tasking job. Since we are here in Gomek forever, here are some of the largest alligators, well, the alligators that were part of the dinosaur period. Like this big giant beast right here. Things that could completely devour a dinosaur without any issue whatsoever. This one is Dinosuchus, and he was about 30-something feet compared to a normal-sized human. Like, that is big. And we have some more Aboriginal artwork right here of Gomek's home country, and that is really beautiful. Apparently this is, oh no, Bansa box skull.
Hey guys, come here, look at this.
That is a big saltwater alligator, or saltwater crocodile, I mean. That is a big skull. I just now realized that. And right across from that, we have some more Aboriginal art. Some more Aboriginal art. Very beautiful. And this tells the story of Gomek. Natives said that the crocodile Gomek had killed a number of village people. They had a name for the reptile, Luma Wala Komana Dikina, which describes the evil nature, size, and ferocity. Crocodiles may all look alike, but Gomek they could distinguish. And anyway, this tells of how they found him. And well, he lived a very long time, as I stated. Like, sometimes I wonder if alligators like do just way better in captivity than out in the wild. And this right here, this is the super croc. This is the biggest alligator that was ever recorded, period. Sarcosuchus. And that's how big that they got. They grew up to about 40 feet long. And now this is a fake skull, but I mean, that is a big, like, even though it's fake, that gives you a size comparison on how big Sarcosuchus or Super Croc was. And as you all can tell, this place is frequented by a lot of tourists and a lot of children. But still, I mean, it's still enjoyable, but I imagine it probably gets pretty hard to enjoy like in the hard summer times, like the deep summer times, when like everybody and their cousin is out. I imagine that would get to be an issue. Let me see. Huh. That is also a very beautiful work of Aboriginal art. Okay, I'm gonna step out. There are a lot of loud children's in there. which ain't too bad, but gets kind of hard to hear anything and get anything done. But that's okay, because now we're in their, we are now in a big, I think it's the actual farm part of the alligator farm. Look, there's a lot of buddies right there. It's like they are just eating and being plentiful. And by the way, just this enclosure in itself is really, really cool to look at it. It feels like we are going on a, we are in a jungle. But then again, I mean, Florida is technically a rainforest. Well, it looks like they're wrestling right there. And the birds are making their presence known. That's a big old guy right there. It's like he's getting away from all the loud birds. They're probably just waiting to eat a meal of some sort. I also believe this is a natural rookery as well. That's probably why there's so many birds. I really like what they do. You know, there's a lot of nice ecosystem here, or at least in Florida anyway. Like, you know, that's one of the things I never understood about why people like crap on Florida so much. I mean, because Florida is a very beautiful state, like a very beautiful state with a lot of rich ecosystem, even though there are a lot of invasive species around. But I mean, this state has manatees, alligators, and crocodiles. Just a lot of amazing history all in all. And you know what? I think that these fish are mimicking the alligators. I think that's tilapia. Like, I find it interesting just to watch them. It's like they're eating everything that they see on the top of the water. And maybe they're just waiting for their next fishy meal, I guess. And by the way, I know you all can't tell or smell anything on YouTube, but it smells very much like the ocean here in this particular spot. I think that's probably just because, again, we are right next to the ocean. We're an intercoastal waterway, I should say. And plus we're dealing with birds. Oh wow, look! Look at the little children birds. Well, I guess looks like the mother is teaching them to fly. God, it's so hot. Well, it looks like the guys well, it looks like the feeder for the Galapagos tortoise is out. Looks like the turtles are just having themselves a halfway decent meal of hay. So they're like, hey. Anyway, looks like they are definitely enjoying their time. Oh, nice. And there goes the lemur. Kind of like that old show Zaboomba Food. Maybe he'll jump, maybe. Well, I'd like to think that he would jump. Well, maybe not.
He looked back at you like, is he crazy?
Well, I guess now he's licking a post.
There's a little ringtail one over here sitting on the ground.
Really? Oh. I'll try to find him. Huh. Oh, now he's following me. I'd like to think that he's following me, because now he's over here. Well, now he's like, no, leave me alone. Now he's just kind of being lazy-ish. Oh, look! He's hopping. Hey, buddy! Buddy! Nah, he's just munching on stuff. Maybe I can get him to look at the camera. He did look at the camera. Awesome. They're so agile and so interesting to watch. Huh. Cool. And now this is one of my favorite exhibits. These birds that you see, they are all African species. And much like the Oh, cassowary. I believe they're called cassowaries. Anyway, they're those birds that we saw with Wilma. And I don't think that they have it. They may still have it. But I think it's called the shoe-billed, or it's like a shoe-billed stork. It's that one that has a really, really big beak. And it's like when they snap their beak together, it sounds like a machine gun's going off. But I don't see any. Looks like most of the other birds are just trying to escape the heat. Yeah, looks like they're most... Look, they have a fake dead carcass of a zebra. Now that is showmanship. And now we're gonna check out one more place, and we're gonna call this a vlog. The land of the crocodiles. Dun 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 dun. Well, anyway, long story short, this is where like alligators from around the world are shown, and some of them are even critically endangered. This is what makes it a pretty awesome pretty awesome exhibit. But so far I ain't really seeing anything. This right here is an ornico crocodile, and this one is critically endangered. So it means that there's probably less than 100 in the wild, or like period. So it's I'm very glad that they have one. Although it would be nice to see them, but I don't see them. Nice. They have this same display again, but I think it's pretty important, or pretty helpful, that they have the difference between an alligator and a crocodile. That way people know. Is that fake, or is that... No, I think that's real. At least I think it's real. And did I also mention they have a zip line here at the park? So yeah, you can zip line over a bunch of quote-unquote man-hungry alligators. Although, I mean, really, I think it's man that has is more of the scarier individual. And this is a broad-snouted caiman. This is from Africa. Looks like East Africa. And he's of least concern. It's like it whines and crisscrosses and goes back and forth. Oh yeah, well this is pretty cool. Shows you the difference between what a caiman is versus an alligator. You see, this is an alligator. Ooh, someone's going overhead. Anyway, as I was saying, this is an alligator and this is a caiman. They're a bit smaller and more triangular. I guess it'd be triangular. I think it would probably be, or more. Anyway, not sure what the word would be. In 3, 2, 1, and no, that looks like a lot of fun. I might have to try that at some point. So in this exhibit, this is all the caimans, or from what I can tell. Look, you can see him right there, just kind of hiding in the grass, and that is a Cuban crocodile, also critically endangered. So there's not that many of them left in the wild. So I'm not sure if you can see him trying to get in the weeds and stuff. And this is neat. We can see ourselves a black caiman. He's sitting right there in his enclosure, and the black caiman is of least concern. So no reason to worry about his safety. Africa. Huh. Well, I wonder what they got in here. This itty bitty guy right here, this is a dwarf crocodile. Very small. He's got his mouth open. I guess he's trying to cool himself off. Well, that was as quick as it ended, because we're now officially in Asia. And there's one alligator right in there. Not sure if you can see him. Oh, by the way, check out this cup. It turns blue when you put cold water and other stuff in it. It's a Johnston's Crocodile. Lower risk. And look at these little guys. Those right there, these are Siamese crocodiles. And these Siamese crocodiles, they are critically endangered. And they are originally from the country of Siam. I guess it's more than likely habitat loss that they've lost a lot of hope. Well, maybe they're coming back. Oh, and you're a pretty bird. He's like a living dinosaur. He is a big animal. He's a big bird too. Buddy. It worked. And now we have come across my favorite, or one of my favorite alligators, the Indian gharial. Just look at the shape of its snout. That's one of the things that I like about it, is its snout is so cylindrical. And plus, it's also pretty critically endangered. And I just now realized that I have been standing right on top of bird poop. That makes me feel comfortable. And look at him, he is just swimming and having a good old time. Great way to end the video. Indeed. Well, you guys, I believe this is going to be another vlog for another day. I think we've seen just about everything. Remember, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon. Always means a lot. Goes to show that y'all care and see more awesome videos. So without further ado, you guys, this vlog is over.